Bro, I'm not gonna lie, the Grinch was like right. And Santa Claus, bro, I'm not really fucking with him. This might be like a hot take, but I'm not feeling too jolly good. Okay? I only asked for one thing this year, man, and it didn't happen. He didn't make it happen. I grew up believing, Santa was a hero. I grew up thinking, if I just look towards the North Pole and, you know, write my lists, I wrote out all my lists, it was really only one thing I really wanted for real. And he wasn't able to provide. I'm 20 years old now, and I'm just distraught. My idols, they're frauds, okay? I thought, Santa would stand up. I thought he would see what's going on and be like, no. But, all Santa really cares about is just, how can I get as many gifts to Tel Aviv as possible, He doesn't care about his elves, The elves, they just work, okay? They're just little workers. They don't care about them. It's disturbing, quite honestly. He comes down every chimney. I think that was him right there. I just think it's about time, he packs it up. Okay, I about had enough of him. You know, every single year I've asked for the same thing. He doesn't make it happen. I'm starting to not really believe in the Christmas joy. Okay, which is why I'm saying the Grinch really had a point. Okay, every single year, Santa just brings us shit, just a bunch of shit, some Temu bullshit. Okay, you know what we give him? Handcrafted, lovingly made cookies. And you know what he has to give back to us? Just elf slop. He's got slaves that work for him. He doesn't do shit. He delivers all the presents. No, he works one day a year. And I mean, like, dude, once you get the route figured out, it's not like too much difficult. You know what I mean? He's got his bag that, like, it's gonna hold all the gifts, but who does all the work in that situation? The reindeers. Like, he really doesn't do anything on his own, okay? But we all try to give so much credit to this dude. Do y'all even know Blitzen? If y'all don't even know Blitzen, like, most people are talking about, Rudolph is the top 3 reindeer, blah, 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 blah. Y'all don't even know Blitzen. Blitzen was also one of my heroes. Honestly, he's cleared. He's cleared off the fraud list. He has no fraud allegations. The runts of the litter, okay? People don't pay attention to. People don't talk about him. But he really keeps the pack together. He really makes sure, like, the sleigh is moving. Okay, Rudolph gets he's got a red nose. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, blah, blah, blah. He's a fucking, what's it called? A golden retriever. He's the golden retriever. Okay? Blitzen, he's the black sheep. He does all the work, gets none of the praise. People just walk right past him, walk right over him, okay? But really, he's the only reason why this shit keeps going. And, I respect him. He keeps the team going. He's a team player, okay? He doesn't take too much credit. But I just think, like, everybody else around him just drags him down, I think he'd be great on any other organization. If, I got my wish. I just wish, Blitzen would just have his own, like, little task force. They could go in the White House and, just